idea where, well, first of all, what is a blood moon? See, a blood moon is an astrological effect that every so often you get an eclipse where the moon is kind of blocked out because the earth is in between the sun and the moon, and you get this little red haze effect because the light from the sun is kind of bent through the gravity of earth and it turns red. It looks pretty neat. I saw it just a couple of days ago when it was happening. Apparently this means something, though, to these pastors out here that are spreading this doom and gloom, end is near, or tribulation. What do they call that? The rapture? Yeah, that's it. The rapture is coming because we have blood moons. Okay. So, Pastor, if you can call them that, Mark Biltz and John Hagee out there, they're saying that because in 2014 there's going to be 4 blood moons that are all happening on some kind of a Jewish holiday. That means that God's got to come back or something. Or that we're all going to get raptured out of here. Yeah. And what is their basis on this? Is it scriptural? No. It's because in the past there's been a couple of blood moons that have happened somewhat sort of by something major event happening to Israel. Well, okay. Well, there's only been what? I mean, the lunar cycle's a month. So how many months has there been in the last 2,500 years? There's been quite a few months. You're going to have quite a few eclipses. It's kind of like take your pick, right? But these ones are special because there's 4 of them. That's what they're trying to say is this year is special. Something's going to happen. I mean, there's no doubt we're living, in the end of time, sure, but you're saying because of the blood moon that, something extra special is going to happen. Anyways, we'll keep going here. So their contention is that we got these 4 blood moons, and this has to do with the 7-year tribulation. And according to the pre-tribulation rapture people, you've got 3.5 years of somewhat sort of tribulation, and then you get raptured. So because you got your 4 blood moons, that means that Jesus is entering the holy place or most holy place, and therefore we're all going to be raptured out of here. So one day we're going to wake up after a blood moon, and if you're still here, you're going to hell. That's what that says. The secret rapture, they call that. And I don't know if these pastors actually had to read Revelation before they get their little pastor diploma. I don't know, do pastors get diplomas? But, in Revelation, I don't see anything that says it's going to be secret. It looks pretty bad. You got Jesus and the white horse and fire and brimstone, and pretty much everything gets taken out. I don't see anything about secret anything. That's just me. But apparently, if you believe in blood moons, you're going to get raptured out of here. So that sounds pretty cool. And, I wouldn't mind being raptured out of here. The earth kind of sucks. Well, let's get out of here and go to heaven, right? So how do I go about doing this? Well, for just $14.99, I can get my very own Blood Moons book that will tell me what to expect. Because, that way I'll know when the blood moon comes, and I'll know to call into work the next day, right? Because I'm going to get raptured out. I'm going to call them up and be like, yo, hey, boss, man, I'm getting raptured tomorrow, so I'm not going to be here. That's what the book is for, I'm assuming. I don't know what else you would need, because you're getting raptured. You're who cares, right? But apparently you need the book so you know when this is going to be. And if that's not enough, this John Hagee guy is also, he's got a whole page. He's even got T-shirts. So isn't that going to be pretty sweet, right? We can go get, put on your little t-shirt and call into work, and you can go to sleep knowing that, sometime in the middle of the night, I'm going to get raptured. And isn't Jesus going to love the rapture t-shirt that I'm wearing for the blood moons? Let him know that I knew it was coming. Now, doesn't that kind of make Jesus a liar when he says that no one knows the hour when I come? I mean, I know people like to guess and figure it out, but do you think maybe if people would figure it out like that it may not be right? But I don't know. I guess I'll have to get the book to find out. Maybe he's got some secret revelations that no one else has, and maybe the book isn't enough, because I see a lot of things here that are being sold to help me get into heaven. Let's see, what else we got for just $399. Now, not $400. That would be too much. But for $399, I can learn all I would ever need to know with the box of 36 DVDs concerning the 4 blood moons. Now, I have to wonder, why 36 DVDs about the blood moons? Is it really, is that going to cover every blood moon in history? I'm assuming it must. I'm going to have to order it. That just seems like a lot. Even Chuck Missler, he did the entire Bible in 24 hours, and I think that was 24 DVDs. So that's the entire Bible. So this blood moon things must be super, super important. At least like 1.5 times as important as the Bible, right? That's just what I'm getting out of it. I mean, it would have to be at $399 for that book. And as I mentioned before, we did recently just have a blood moon, and I woke up the next day. I was all set to call into work, but I'm kind of on the tail end of it. I'm glad that I learned about this, though, kind of in the midst of it. Maybe I'll catch the next one. See, I didn't get raptured yet, but there's still hope. And maybe if I got the T-shirt to let Jesus know that I'm really serious about getting raptured out, that maybe he'll take me next time. But as of yet, he didn't take me. So here I am talking about blood moons. So now the reason that I find this interesting primarily here is it has to be a Jewish holiday, right? With these blood moons. And the reason that is because in the Jewish rabbinical system, everything was based around the moon, and that's when you knew to have Passover. It was all based on the moon. So you got a blood moon, it's going to be on a Passover of some sort. That's just how it works. Is that special in some sort of way? I personally don't think so, but if you look at this Biltz guy, he's from El Shaddai Ministries, and his links are up here. We got Ancient Jewish Wisdom, Blood Moon's Calendar, El Shaddai Ministries Materials, the Hebrew language, and all this stuff. So, and Judaica. So right off the bat, I know this guy is a Hebrew roots guy. I think he calls himself a Christian, but you really can't be a Christian and follow Hebrew roots. The two don't go together, because Christianity is named for Christ, who put an end to the Jewish system. It's done. And the Jews didn't want it to be done with, so they got rid of Jesus. And it was all part of God's plan and everything, but that's what the Bible says. And it's what the Bible says. You don't need to listen to me on it. The Jewish system is done with if you're a Christian. Now, if you're a Jew and you don't believe the Messiah has come yet, then you might have an argument, but this guy, Biltz, professes to be a Christian. Yet he says that God somehow is still going to follow the Jewish system. And God might follow the Jewish system. Maybe, but was there anything special about blood moons back in the Jewish system? No, there wasn't. It was just kind of a neat thing that happened. So yeah, we want to go back to the the old Jewish system, because somehow God needs to adhere to some feast day before rapturing people out. It's a load of garbage. It's a load of crap. Jesus could certainly come at any time, and it could certainly land on a feast day. But as I said, some guy on YouTube is probably not going to have the answer as to when Jesus is coming, because he said so in the book. Nobody knows the hour of my coming. So there you go. You don't need to believe me. But anyways, should you choose to be deceived, you can give Mark Biltz $18 for his Blood Moon documentary DVD, where he documents how he hoodwinks you and steals your money. And you can be safe to know that the moon is red, and you can buy your t-shirt, and you can call into work in the morning saying, I'm going to get raptured, not going to be there. And when nothing happens, then you can go beg for your job back. So you can buy more crap that these people are going to sell you. Yeah. So, and let me just add to this. I still have plenty of time here to talk. I'm obviously going to have to split this video up. So let me just add to this with this Hebrew roots movement and where it all comes from. It all comes from trying to deceive the hell out of everybody. All that crap ended. You can't go back to what the Jews said because they were wrong. Okay? They were wrong. They didn't even know what the Messiah was when he showed up. So why would people listen to them now? Okay? They obviously have no clue what the hell planet they're on. The Bible in itself has the whole prophecy of when Jesus is going to show up perfectly laid out. And the Jews didn't see it coming. And then they said he was a heretic and stoned him. Didn't even bother looking into it. And there's probably some Jews that believed, and there's Jewish people today that are Christians. They don't follow the Jewish religion. But nowadays, everybody wants to hold hands and get together, and they say, well, Jesus was Jewish, so we have to look at the ancient Hebrew and see what the old Jewish scholars said. And it's like, well, the Jewish scholars were freaking wrong. Yeah, Jesus was a Jew, sure. But what difference does that make? You don't need to go back to what the Jews were doing before Jesus showed up, because he ended it all. None of it matters. And these guys like Biltz here, who say he's a Christian, but wants to go back to Hebrew roots, what it means is he wants to give you his version of Christianity, which he'll do a lot of this. I guarantee it. If you spend enough time on YouTube looking up this guy's stuff, he's going to say, now, what it means here by this, it doesn't really mean that. If you go back to the ancient Hebrew, the word really means this. So that's what that means. And it doesn't matter what subject he's talking about. It's always going to be the same thing. Whether it be, you hear a lot about that with pre-tribulation rapture and things like this. It's like, oh, well, what the book says isn't really what it means. If it was translated correctly, you'd go back to ancient Hebrew. And these guys got nothing. They want to sell you a book. It shows how Jewish they are. Sorry, but it does. It's a bunch of crap. And I feel very badly for people who follow this stuff. And with that, I think I've pretty well wrapped up the subject. Maybe next time it'll be Obama, but who knows? Anyways, peace and good night, and thanks for tuning in to the Defecating Poem.